Beautiful panel today. So koe mātou, we are Toi Whakaari. We are here on the beautiful whenua of Omāroro in Te Whanganui-a-Tara. And this is our pepeha that was beautifully gifted to the kura recently. So ko te o te manga, ko ai mapihi, ko ai tangi ngā awa, ko Ngāti Haumia, Taranaki Tūturu, me Ngāti Tūpaia, Ngāti Ruanui, ngā hapu o te rohe nei, ko te kura Toi Whakaari o Aotearoa tēnei. So from our whare here, we nurture talented students in performance arts through innovative, co-creative and recognised learning programs to realise their creative potential and navigate sustainable paths forward. And this is a picture of the front of our kura here if you haven't visited us before. So as New Zealand's premier school of performing arts, our legacy has always been to train the best performers, designers, and craftspeople from here and from around the world, taught by renowned experts and educators with broad industry and community connections. Our prestigious qualifications are a mark of quality that opens doors to a successful career. And sometimes, like our panel today, that career leads you back to Toi Whakaari. So I think that might say something about how amazing we are. And that's why our talented alumni are sought after in front of and behind the scenes by the world's leading productions. And being a part of our kura is more than just gaining qualifications. Here, skills are gained, perspectives are shaped, connections are made, and potential is revealed. We recognise all our students as future rangatira. They emerge from here knowing who they are and where they stand, ready to add their value to Aotearoa New Zealand's thriving performing arts community. So that's our kura in a nutshell. And again, another beautiful picture from one of our recent productions. And so we offer 5 full-time undergraduate programs for performing arts students. And for those who might have applied for Toi Whakaari before in the past or might have heard of our programs, these are slightly refreshed or different from what you might know. So these programs are the Bachelor of Performing Arts with endorsements in design, production, and acting. So it might sound like one program, but it's almost like 3 in 1. There are 3 pathways that walk alongside each other. And we also have the New Zealand Diploma in Scenic Construction and Properties, Set and Props, and the New Zealand Diploma in Costume Construction. So you'll get to hear from each of our discipline leads today, talk briefly about each of the programs, the potential career pathways, and also the application process. It's a really, I would say, a simple application process. There's just slight differences for each program. So if you've come today maybe wondering which program might best suit you, hopefully this helps maybe spark something and you come away with a better idea. Or if you're definitely set on one, hopefully this clarifies some things for you. And if not, then that's what the Q&A is there for, so you can ask those questions afterwards. So to start us off, I'm going to pass over now to our Bachelor of Performing Arts, Kai Mahi. And again here, the Bachelor of Performing Arts. You can study it with an endorsement in either design, production, and acting. And actually, I will talk a little bit, I forgot I had these slides. I will talk a little bit about the refresh first. So this Bachelor of Performing Arts program is new for 2026. It'll be the first time it's being offered and run. And it's unique. This unique and revitalized program provides the same essential training that has always been offered here at Toi, replacing, however, the previous Bachelor of Performing Arts Management, Bachelor of Design for Stage and Screen, and the Bachelor of Performing Arts Acting. So even though that name stays the same, it's still a part of that refresh. But the core learning is still the same. It's just supported now by a new learning model designed to provide students with a range of skills and ways of working that are contemporary, relevant, and aligned to the rapidly evolving landscape of creative and performing arts in Aotearoa and beyond. And I think I can show you in a nutshell or an overview. The program is 360 credits. The school year runs from February to November. It's 3 years long. You'll come out with a level 7 accreditation, and it's a face-to-face learning model. So you'll be studying here, and this is for all the undergrad programs. You'll be studying here in Poneke, Wellington, at Toi Whakaari. And you would choose one endorsement. So when you go to apply, you apply for the Bachelor of Performing Arts, endorsed with acting or production or design. So the course structure is a little bit different from what it was before. So we follow a semester timetable structure. So the first year will be made up of semester 1, which will run from February to June. And to give you an idea, there is 4 courses that will make up that semester. And some of these will be taught interdisciplinary, so you'll learn with the other endorsements in the same course. And then others, which are discipline specific, is where you'll focus in your specific area. And so a first semester will look like the BPA 501, Te Whanganui-a-Tara, which is grounded in the values of Toi Whakaari. The course will introduce key concepts such as positionality, individuality, and community. And the other interdisciplinary course, which is the one at the bottom, is the Learning Pathways, which introduces all students in Year 1 to a range of skills and processes to support training and future practice. And then in that BPA 502, the Craft Skills 1, and BPA 503, Applied Craft 1, that's when you'll be with your specific discipline, whether that be acting, production, or design. And then in semester 2, which will run from July to November, they build on from the first semester. So you'll see that it carries on Te Whanganui-a-Tara 2, Craft Skills 2, Applied Craft 2, Learning Pathways 2. You still have interdisciplinary courses that carry through, but also have your discipline-specific courses as well. So you get a mixture, and this is, I think, a key change with the refresh, is that there's more ways that the programs will collaborate more and share the learning. And that means that you'll get to learn alongside others that might not necessarily be in your specific discipline. If it doesn't make sense, Katie Pai, don't worry, we're all learning and figuring it out together. And we welcome any pātai, and hopefully we can answer them today as well. Ka pai. I will hand over now to you, Emma.
Kia ora koutou. For those of you who didn't see it on the, if you came late, my name's Emma Ransley, and I'm the discipline lead for the Bachelor of Performing Arts with the endorsement in design. And later you'll hear me talk about the New Zealand Diploma in Scenic Construction and Properties. So the Bachelor of Performing Arts and Design is a really practical program. And it supports you with the essential skills in design for live performance, screen art, so film, video, and other media, such as projection design, maybe for exhibitions or galleries. The curriculum does include exploration of set design, costume design, and again, other performance modalities. So again, it might be live performance art, something like that. So we do try to cover a broad range within our curriculum. You're really supported, as well as the practical skills, to develop your critical thinking and ideation skills. So I think one unique thing about Toi Whakaari is that we are meeting industry need in terms of our skill base, so the industry that you're going to. But we're also equipping you with the knowledge and the education to pursue other pathways such as postgraduate studies or applying your skills and knowledge to different settings. So we're really developing that critical thinking muscle in you as well. So we don't know what performing arts practice will look like in the next 10 years. So we try to equip you with those skills and knowledge to do that. Next slide, please, Tay. So career pathways for if you choose the design endorsement, you can go on to be like a lead creator, creative, like a designer in live performance, whether that be in set, lighting, projection design, props, or costume. You can be a designer for screen arts, which could look like video content, projection again, or like a production designer for film, or an art director, work in the art department for television and film here in New Zealand, and we have lots of graduates who do that internationally as well. You could create content for live art, be a member of an arts collective, create installations or exhibitions. And then there's other things there. Lots of our graduates go on to sort of lots of diverse areas within the performing arts. So arts administrator, we have graduates who are film editors, Pacifica practitioners, educators, development of developers of original work, and you can go on to choose to do postgraduate studies as well. A lot of our graduates do work in the film industry, in art department and in costume departments, as well as being lead creatives in live performance. Thank you, Taylor. What have we got next? The application process. So we try to make this as simple as possible, but one thing that we do need, well, two things. Step one is to complete the online application form. Hopefully that's super easy to do, but shout out if it isn't. And then you're going to submit a digital portfolio. And I think the next slide I talk about that more in detail. So step two is an interview with us. And while we encourage you to visit the kura and experience the learning environment, we know that sometimes people can't get to Poneke. So we do offer an in-person or online interview. And we really try to create a safe environment with our interviews. It's more to get to know each other, to make sure that the learning environment is a good fit for you and how we can support you to thrive within our kura as well. So we try to keep it as sort of informal as possible, but we sort of know that those things can be nerve-wracking. So just so you know that we try and make it as friendly as possible. Next slide, please, Taylor. So portfolio guide. So in step one, you do the online form and then you submit a portfolio. So we really like to see who you are and what your version of creativity is or what you want to go on to do. So your artistic potential. So we encourage you to include at least 5 pieces of work that highlight your artistic skills. A strong portfolio will demonstrate both your creative process and your final outcomes. So please include how you came to a final outcome. So show us how you work through ideas, like conceptualizing, developing, and refining ideas. What you showcase in your portfolio does not have to be from live performance or any design that you've done for film. It could be like maybe like animations that you've done in school or personal projects or even like photography that you've done with like your family or whānau or community. So it doesn't have to be exclusively designed for performance or screen. It can be how you interpret your creativity. So we want to see who you are and really where you'd like to go with your degree. Next slide. Ah, yeah, here we go. So things that might include are photographs, drawings, sketches, paintings, renderings, or illustrations. This can be digital or hand-drawn. Production work that you may have done, three-dimensional work, so you might have constructed a model, sculptures, costumes, props. Any video or film clips that you might have put together. And then, yeah, any other creative work that you feel expresses your artistic voice and potential. Next slide, please, Taylor. Ah, there we go. Kia ora, I'll pass you on to Salisi now.
Thanks, Emma. Yeah, well, here we are, the Bachelor of Performing Arts, endorsed in acting. And as you'll see from this slide, the program is an intensive and embodied practice-led training program. And so what we mean by embodied practice is that even while there is elements of theory in it, you will be up on the floor and doing it, just literally getting it in your body. And it's a program that provides essential skills for stage, screen, and a whole lot of other performance genres and media. I mean, you're probably well aware that video games are now the big new thing, right? And there are auditions every day for video voice characters. So we're lucky to have on tap some of the best teachers for voice and video games in the world. So, you know, it's just an example of how our course is always moving, trying to keep up. These things include live and screen performance, and we consider a wide range of contexts, including traditional theatre and Western theatre, film, television, stage, cultural and community engagement, and the application of that practice. And we really encourage our students to consider what the boundaries of creative practice are. The school always works the best for the students when the students work at the edge of their talent. And we realize that that is not an easy thing to ask of people to do that every day because it does get exhausting. But, you know, that's where great results happen. And we just love that we hold the flag here in Aotearoa and our graduates are working all over the world. Taylor, do you want to hit the next slide? Woohoo, career pathways. The first lot of graduates from Toi Whakaari left this kura in 1970. That was a class of 12 actors, and quite a few of them are still working today. Jennifer Ludlam, who you'll probably recognize from TV and film and stage, was part of that original class, and acting is the only job she's ever done for the last 50-something years. So in addition to teaching actors for stage and screen, we've got graduates who work in motion capture and stunt work. A lot of our graduates working at Weta. Voice performance, a lot of our graduates from the acting course have become writers, dramaturgs, directors. We've got quite a few producers as well. Acting coaches, educators like us, and people go on to postgraduate studies. And also amongst our the last 50-something years of graduates, we've got people who are incredible teachers, incredible writers of novels, more than a handful who are brilliant chefs who have owned some of the best restaurants in the world. So, you know, whether your pathway out of the school is for acting or that will celebrate whatever it is you do, and it's our job just to help you work at your creative potential. Let's have a look at that next slide. Okay, the application process, it's a little bit different from the other courses. So applications online close on the 22nd, and then we will have audition workshops throughout the country. Whangarei, Auckland, Tauranga, Wellington, oh, there we go, Dunedin and Christchurch. Yeah. So in those workshops, you'll be in groups of at the most 15 people. And we're just going to hang out for 3 hours and do some stuff. We're going to ask you to show some monologues, but we'll make work together. I just really want to impress that it's not an American Idol situation. We won't be sitting behind a table judging you. Even when you're doing your monologues, you'll be on stage with everyone else around you, eh? Because, you very rarely make theatre by yourself. So everyone's there to support you. It's so we can, meet you and you can meet us. And yeah, whether you want to think you might want to come and study here. What's on that previous side, Taylor Rose, is that oh, and then there's a recall weekend, which is the 24th and 25th of October. That's a Friday and a Saturday. And we will ask probably about 40 to 44 people to come back for that weekend. And if you wish to be considered for the school, you do have to be here for it. And yeah, that's more auditioning and getting to meet the rest of the school, getting to meet the people that are going to be your potential classmates. Yeah. And then from there, we'll make a decision and cut it down to a further 22. Cool. Aha. This is for you, Teresa.
Kia ora. Thanks, Sal. Thanks, Emma. Cool. So I'm here to talk about the Bachelor of Performing Arts endorsement in production. So that's also an intensive and practical program which provides technical skills and knowledge to pursue a wide-ranging career in the creative industries in Aotearoa and beyond. So similar to the other programs, we have lots of graduates around the world and nationally in lots of different areas. It's a really hands-on course, and through practical learning and experiences, you'll build on a broad set of skills in areas including lighting, sound, rigging, stage management, production management, producing, and obviously we do live productions as well. There will be some cross-pollination into screen projects because a lot of what we do works in other areas, not just in live theatre. And we build collaborative relationships across with our mates in acting, design, costume, and set and props as well. So lots of collaborative projects together as a kura. And you'll learn to lead teams and facilitate complex environments on top of the technical skills. So it's both of those things that we look at. Thanks, Taylor. Yeah, cool. So career pathways, programming, operating, that's in the technical side, production, technical management, stage management. Lots of our graduates work in venues and events, doing producing for film and theatre, arts markets, publicity, production roles for screen, and also obviously pathways to postgraduate studies like the other degree programs. This is a really short list like the other programs, so there's plenty of options of where you can go, and we work really closely with all tauira to follow you and where you want to go on your pathway in your career, as you get closer to what that is that you want. Thanks, Taylor Rose. Cool. So the application process, step one is to complete our online application form. And then we will host tauira on our applicants weekend. We're really keen to meet you here at Toi Whakaari in Wellington. We'd like to do some mahi with our current students on the Friday, the 31st. And then we'll go into individual interviews. Similarly to design, obviously, if you can't make it to Wellington, that's kei te pai. We'll just do it online, and we can meet you in that format as well. So that's not a problem. And also, like the design program, interviews are really chill. They're not. We use the word interview because it's a meeting of two groups, right? But it's just a really a get to know you session, and for you to get to know us as well, and we just have a chat together. So it's not a formal scary thing. Hopefully that helps. Looking forward to any partai. Kia ora, Taylor Rose.
That'll be me. Kia ora, everyone. So this is our New Zealand Diploma in Costume Construction. It's a 2-year program. And yeah, same. We're here at the school all together. There are classes as first year tauira that you will do with your other mates in other courses, and then there are all the craft skills and the applied craft that we do in our discipline specific way. And we also get to play with everybody else when we do our productions. So it's a very much a face-to-face learning model. The New Zealand Diploma in Costume Construction is the only tertiary course in Aotearoa that specialises in costume construction for stage and screen. The course is taught by some of New Zealand's best industry professionals and aims to provide students with skills in all forms of costume construction and production. That's weird to read about the best people, but we really do have some amazing guest tutors as well as our staff in the kura, and that's because we like you to be making those networks, because as you've probably heard, the personal connections we have with one another are really important to our craft. This will hopefully lead to employment in film, theatre and allied industries. Costume students have the opportunity to collaborate with the New Zealand School of Dance on their major performance events, as well as being actively involved in stage and screen performance projects at Toi Whakaari. You can be a costume maker, a costume supervisor, a stylist, do standby for film, be the design associate. This is like an assistant to a costume designer. You can be a runner, you can make soft props, you can be a milliner, which is someone who makes a hat, and or a buyer, or lots of actually our graduates get to work in the it's often called art department in general, but our guys work specifically with textiles, as you can imagine. So dyeing and all the surface textures that can be applied to fabric, as well as breaking down things, brand new things, to make them look very old. So these are some of our key units or courses in our program. You can see there's lots of costume at the front of them. So we are very much interested in all kinds of things that you can wear on your body. Also, you will see that industry secondment or internship is very important, that you get to apply what you've learned in the classroom to a professional setting. Our students also get to hone their management skills. So we get to work alongside our production students who will be leading our shows as production managers, stage managers, and the costume tauira get to manage the costume elements of those shows, along with working closely with their mates who are designing the costumes from the design program. So our application process, just like for design and for production, you complete your online application form and then you submit a digital portfolio by October 17th. And then we, again, are also inviting applicants to come to Poneke to be with us in person and show us your beautiful things that you have made, and we'll have a conversation together and show you around. But like the others, if travel is really difficult at that time, we will make an online appointment for you, no problem. So our portfolio is very similar to design. We'd love you to send us some colour photos of 2 things that you've made. So 2 clothing projects. I often don't use the word costume because people get very worried that the thing they've made isn't technically a costume. So just anything that you've created, whether it's wearable art or, I don't know, pajamas for your baby brother. But you should show us like the front and the side and the back if you're photographing these. Obviously, if you can come to meet us in person, you can bring them with us if they fit in a suitcase. But otherwise, showing us, if you know particularly that you'll be doing an online meeting, then show us some lovely detail of your work up close so we can appreciate what you've created. And these things can be uploaded. You can send us a link to your Google Drive or whatever, or create a document where the digital photos are embedded in it, and that can all be sent or emailed to that address there. Back to you, Emma.
Kia ora anō. I just think it's funny that one of our incredible actors is just walking out the room there with Salisi Te Whānau. So that's how it goes in this building. People, all the greats come in and out, cups of tea, doing the mahi. So okay, the New Zealand Diploma of Scenic Construction and Properties. Let's go. Okay, so like our costume diploma, it's over 2 years. Accreditation level is level 6. We do have one course in level 5. So this really is a introduction to set construction and props construction. And like all undergrad programs at Toi Whakaari, we're a face-to-face learning model. Okay, so yeah, it's the diploma is a 2-year program, so it does suit people who don't want to stay here for 3 years and do a degree. So it's a pretty short and sharp and intense 2 years, and then you're a graduate and you can go out and do the mahi that you want to do. So it provides you with a comprehensive foundation in constructing sets and properties for the world of live and screen art. So yeah, we do cover both live and like work for film. It's a combination of artistic craftsmanship with technical expertise. But this program places a strong emphasis on practical skills as well as cultivating a creative mindset. So it very much suits people who want to learn technical skills, but who are also wanting to have a space to build what's in their head. I will say that our diploma is very much focused on group work. So you do have to be a person who enjoys working within a team, because live performance and film is not an individual creative pursuit. You work with everybody. So a lot of our projects in the first year are group projects. So yeah, you'll get hands-on experience through live production, engaging in skill-based projects and industry internships. So that's across all of our undergrad programs as well. We do industry placements. So you'll get to refine your technical abilities and explore your creativity and gain valuable insights into construction and crafting processes. Next slide, please, Tay. So career pathways, and again, as Teresa said, or we've all said, these are very limited, but we'll pop them up here. So you can be a set builder, scenic artist, which our tauira are doing a scenic art block at the moment. So that's usually for film, but like lots in live theatre as well. A props maker, a scenic sculptor. You can work for the art department in film. A lot of our graduates work within the area of exhibition and event display as well, or you could be a model maker. Okay, so this is a very brief overview of year 1 and year 2, but year 1 is really introducing you to our learning environment and our purpose-built facilities. So we have a massive workshop downstairs with all the machines and tools that hopefully you could ever wish for. And we also have a full-time technical demonstrator tutor who is down there to support all your learning as well as your main tutors. So the main course that runs throughout first year is construction materials and processes. And this covers all sort of basic construction methods, finishing techniques, how you interpret design briefs. So you work closely with students on the design program, visual communication, and of course, safe working practices. And this is the course where you do work in groups for most of the year. So you, well, right now our students are building a, how would I describe it? A massive pavilion together that will sit within the kuta. So that's not necessarily something that's for screen or live performance. It kind of sits in between around sort of maybe like exhibition design. So yeah, we do also sort of diverse projects that are obviously equipped you for live performance and screen, but give you a range of techniques and skills as well. As been said before, production practice is all of the disciplines working on productions together. And then critical studies is, again, building that muscle of being able to critically analyze the work that you do, the work that you see, to build a language between us so we can become better artists. Year 2 is production practice again, but in year two, you're leading the construction process. You do advanced skills workshops, which is when we invite in industry specialists. So right now we've got a scenic specialist who's worked on films like Blade Runner, Avatar. I think she did The Hobbit as well. So those are the opportunities to meet some of those people in the industry. And then we send you out into the industry for an industry internship. And that's a guided process. You work with your kaiako to decide on a direction, and we support you to make contact with the people that we know. And then you choose a self-directed research topic and you create something that you've chosen, and we support you through the whole year to build and finish that. So yeah, next slide, Tay, if there's one. Yeah, an application process. So very similar to design. So fill in your online application form, submit a portfolio, and then we will hold interviews on from 31st of October and 1st of November. Again, we try and make it a environment where we're getting to know each other. Also, if you can't make those days, we will rearrange a time to meet with you, so no stress. Yes, and your portfolio guide is the same as design again. We want to see at least 5 pieces of work that highlight your artistic skills. So this could be anything that like you might make with, I don't know, your siblings, your brothers and sisters. It might be like a little claymation thing, or it might be that you've created a replica helmet from Lord of the Rings or something like that. We just want to see you and your crafting ability and your passion for that. So I'll let you read through that because it's the same as design. Next one, Taylor. Kia ora. Over to you.
Thank you. They didn't rehearse for that, so I think they did a really good job. Thank you to our kaiako. That was really awesome. And now we're just turning to the sort of student life and student support element of wanting to come study here at Toi Whakaari. And I think Craig he hasn't rehearsed either, so I might just throw him in the deep end.
Okay, why not? That's what you get for sitting next to you in the same office, isn't it?
Yes. Office buddy privileges. Kapai, so do you want to talk about this? Or should I need to talk about this?
We can both talk about it, I suppose.
Yeah.
So the building Te Whare, where Toi Whakaari is housed, is in Newtown and Wellington, so pretty much in central Wellington. So Te Whare is not just the home of Toi Whakaari, the New Zealand Drama School, it's also the home of the New Zealand School of Dance as well. And then there is also other organisations that are in that big building as well towards the back. So we're in the north end of the building, the south end of the building, there's other things in there, Circus Hub, there's Tawhiri Warehouse, So it's a big building with lots of occupants, and there's always stuff going on. The spaces are used by the schools during the day. So Toi Whakaari and the NZSD, we use the studios for our teaching and learning. But then in the evenings, there's a whole wide range of community organisations come in and rent our spaces, orchestras, churches, dance groups, operas, kids play groups, opera, yeah, all sorts. So there's always something happening. There's always people in another building, even on the weekends. So it's a very cool hub for the arts in Wellington, but certainly in Newtown, Mount Cook. We have a lot of, I'm not going to go through all the different spaces we have, but we have lots of cool spaces on different levels. So we have kind of 3 primary levels in the building as well. So different classrooms, big rooms, small rooms, studios, workshops, the costume workshop, the set and props workshop downstairs. And there's very easy access to Te Whare via the bus or just walking from town. And we've got a massive big car park as well. So if you've got a car, you can leave your car in the car park or day as well. That's all good.
Mm.
Okay.
Good job.
Wow.
Student accommodation.
Oh, yep, I can do this one as well. So most of our students live in flats, so house shares in kind of Mount Cook, Newtown, Berhampore, Vogeltown, kind of in the nearby parts to Toi Whakaari. We do have an agreement with Massey University, so you can apply to Massey University hostels to stay in their hostels as well. The thing to do with that is if you are applying but you don't know whether you've got in yet, and you want to apply for accommodation, you can do that. You will just need to pay a deposit to Massey to secure a place in their accommodation. And part of that deposit is not refundable, but if you don't get into Toi Whakaari, then you can get some of that money back as well. So talk to Massey. There's a link on our website to Massey accommodation. And they're very nice. We have quite a few students staying at Massey this year as well. Usually first years, but if you're from outside of Wellington, a hostel can be a good place to start. If you're moving away from home for the first time, you don't know the city, it's certainly an option, I think. But like I say, the vast majority of students live in flats around Wellington.
And we tend as well to have flats sort of passed down.
Yeah, so as part in that kind of end of the year, beginning of the next year kind of summer break process, we often get emails from students going, look, we've got a room in our flat, or we're moving out, we've got a house that's got 4 rooms, we need people to fill it. So we will send out that information to the returning students and the new students as soon as we get it. So you can contact those students and go and have a look at them and stuff like that. So we do our best to kind of connect you up with people that are looking for people to share their house shares. Yeah.
I'll talk to this one.
I've done too much.
So our critter is very small. It's got a very strong sense of community. We have about 130 to 150 students altogether at any one time, and it's a very diverse range of students. And for our domestic students, you are eligible to enroll with Massey University's Health and Counselling Services. So again, there's that relationship with Massey so that our tauira are able to be sort of underneath their umbrella as well in terms of health services, but then also I believe things like clubs and societies.
They're literally just down the road.
Yeah, they're only a 5-minute walk from us. And they also offer social sports, which, if I can just say, we smash every year. Somehow the drama students take over all of the sports. And that's, again, another way to sort of build community and outside of drama school. Yeah. And there are always other events that the students or the staff will run throughout the year that can support or cater to both social type of events. Like this year we had our, I don't know if we've ever done a carver night before in the recent years. So it's all of these things, and even writing workshops. We do things like kibosh, which on a Friday there will be recycled food that the students can then take for free back home. And we do all of these things for the students, depending on what their needs are. So depending as well on who the student body is and what they're interested in, then there's an easy way, because we're so small, to make things happen for our tauira. Or just to tell them to do it themselves. If you want to start a club, go on and run it. It's not hard because we're so small. And I guess these are our 2 sort of key student support staff, but actually all of our kaimahi, we're not isolated or sort of don't talk to me. We all take care of our tauira together. We've got awesome kaimahi who will pull together, and that photo of the students all eating is not false advertising. We do eat quite a bit as a kura. And so there's a very strong sense of community. I may have made those students make love hearts, just, to show how much they love each other. So that's sort of the kind of the wairua of the kuras. Because we're so small, you get to know each other, we get to know you. So we try and make sure that everyone's looked after in terms of pastoral care and student support. And I think now it's Q&A time. Don't freak out that we're getting super close to 5 o'clock. We will hang around a bit over time if there are some super burning questions for us to get through. So if you have been holding on to any questions, feel free to use the chat and we can answer some of those. I know some of you have submitted questions while filling out your form, and I have put those on these slides, so maybe I'll go through those first, and that might give you some time to put any questions in the chat, and we'll get to those ones after. So do we offer scholarships?
We don't offer any scholarships directly into year one. We do have a scholarship that is provided by an external organisation for students who are already enrolled in the school. So it's a scholarship that the students nominate each other for students who are moving into their final year of study, whether that's year 2 for the diploma courses or year 3 for the degree courses. But that's the only scholarship that we have currently.
What internship opportunities do you offer? I know some of the kaimahi mentioned some of these, but it might be nice if we could, in a sort of quick fire round, go to each of our academic staff to maybe briefly go over some things. Maybe I'll flick to Emma first and then see where we go.
Kia ora, Taylor. As I said in my last spiel, we work with you as TODA to build a plan of what you want to do on internship. So our internships look different for everybody. But just to name a few, we have students who, lots of students who go to Scale Studio here in Pōnaki. They're a studio who does like sculptures for exhibition and miniatures for films like Blade Runner. We have students interning on festivals like Kia Mau, and Teresa will list off the many festivals that our students intern with. Other students go and intern with projection designers, go to our main sort of theatres like Auckland Theatre Company or the Court Theatre Company in Christchurch, and intern on productions there. We have students interning on film productions. Students this year have interned with Weta. It's all over the place. I'll pass to T now to keep going.
Kia ora, Emma. Yep, I think, I mean, like Emma said, we do follow the passions of our students and help connect them nationally and internationally to where they want to go. So maybe I'll speak to where we've had students this year. So we've just had someone come back from the sound department on the Book of Mormon in Sydney. I have a student who's going to join the rigging team on Corteo with Cirque du Soleil at the end of the year. There's sort of the big ones that we've got going at the moment. We've also got people with Wellington Opera, New Zealand Opera, the New Zealand Ballet Company, Auckland Theatre Company, multiple festivals, Auckland Arts Festival, Tāwhiri Festival, which is the Aotearoa Arts Festival in New Zealand, and Wellington, Circa Theatre. We've got lots of students who go to specific individual practitioners as well, whether they're designers or managers or makers or producers or there's all different exciting options, and we really work closely with our students to connect them to those opportunities. You want to tap on that, Sal?
Look, I would just say that we're, obviously the acting department is the same, just work really closely with the student to find what it is they want to do, what they're interested in. And, sometimes it's a big, enormous show, and we'll do our best to get people in there. We've had quite a few students this year at the Kia Mau Festival. They were actually already cast in shows, so they got to do that as their secondment, their internship. We've just had a student come back from Tiny Fest in Otatahi, which is incredible, and it now looks like that work is going to have another life. So that'll carry on. And even this week, we've got 2 students away at Indian Ink, which is Jacob Rajan's company, and Jacob is a graduate of Toi Whakaari as well. So it's great that our graduates are now looking after our current tauira. Yeah, but wherever you want to go, we will do our best to get you there.
And Karen?
Oh, we've got internships happening at the World of Wearable Art for the Royal New Zealand Ballet, Wellington Opera, New Zealand Opera. We've had students intern to help kind of master's students doing a film at Victoria Uni. So there's lots of film work happening around Wellington, not just at Toi Whakaari. And sometimes students like to make things together. So costume students might become friends with a design student who's making an animation film, and they can intern on their other mate's production. So it all depends, like everyone else has said, on what you want to do and what you want to practice and learn.
Kia ora. And it's just to answer your partai, Casey, those internships are offered through all of our undergrad programs, including design. And I might just go to our next partai, which is acting specific. What advice can you give around audition prep, particularly how to select the monologues that will work best?
I guess my biggest advice is know your lines. And it always takes longer than you think. But that's just the top level. Look, the auditions are about you showing us, something you really want to do. So choose something that really sparks something in you. And yeah, that's why we leave one slot open, just to see what you'll choose and where you'll go with it. And yeah, don't worry. That's why we have 2 auditions there to ask you to learn 2 pieces. So, there's one that we've chosen and one where you get to say, this is the sort of actor I think I am at the moment. And that's really exciting for us to see. But yeah, there's lots of, and the great thing about the internet now is that you can get so many scripts online for free. So, but obviously if you're having any difficulties choosing one, absolutely get in touch. And we can nut something out together. That'd be awesome.
Thanks. What are you looking for in a portfolio? I think generally we've covered that in the sort of specific details, and it's sort of similar to what Sal was saying regarding acting, is we really just want to see what you are passionate about. And it's not something that we can decide for you, or that we want to sort of dictate this is what you should do. We just want to see who you are, what you want to share with us, and where you might want to take your craft going forward. So hopefully those guides earlier can give you a framework to work within, but then at the end of the day, it's completely up to you, and we'll be excited regardless of what comes through in the inbox, so long as it comes in before the deadline. Ka pai. I will go through now some of the questions in the chat. There's a couple of you have asked, which is, can you apply for more than one course at a time? The answer to that is
yes.
Yes, you can apply for more than one course.
Yeah.
You can't do more than
You can't
one
do
course.
more than one course, obviously. But you can apply for more than one thing. But can you please do a separate application for each thing, because the specifics are often kind of different for each thing. So it's best for us if we have one application per program that you're interested in applying for. Thank you.
There is a couple partai around how many applicants do you tend to get for the design program, and one might have been for the set and props. And I actually don't think we talked about the sort of cohort size for each of the programs. So hopefully to answer that, for the acting program, we can take up to 22 students and for the first year cohort, and then for the rest of the programs, so that's design, production, costume, and set and props, it's a maximum of 12?
No.
Okay, cool. I'll let this guy down.
So the mix will differ from year to year depending on the number of people that apply for the different endorsements, I think. So there's probably room for about 16, I think, design production mix in year one for next year. So that's in terms of the cohort size for the design and production endorsement students in the Bachelor of Performing Arts. It'll be around 15 to 16 for 2026.
Cool. That's why I've got you next to me. Are there any websites you can recommend?
Should we give an idea of numbers for costume and set and props as well?
Well, I'm too scared to say anything now, so you you tell them.
So in terms of cohort size for costume and set and props, it's around kind of 8, 9, 10 is about the usual number. And in terms of applicants, for costume can be very varied. Some years we've had like 30, 35 applicants for costume, but it's usually in the kind of mid-20s, Karen, is that right? Yeah, about mid-20s for costume for about 8, 9 places. And for set and props, it's usually about mid-teens, so 15, 16, sometimes kind of 18 applicants for about 8, 9 places there as well.
Sifting through the many questions. Thank you, by the way. These are awesome. And if we do run out of time to answer all of them, I will make sure to somehow get these back to you in some form. There's a lot of specific ones just for you, Sal. Can you see those ones?
No, I was purposely avoiding the chat. Here I am. Yes, let's go for it. Come at me. Which ones would you like to answer, darling?
The ratio between practical and written / theory.
There's definitely a lot more practical than written for acting. But we're always encouraging you to take notes after every class, to so you remember what you've done, to chart your progress. And also the written work it's all part of your actor training. It's all about you expressing yourselves as artists. So when you see something, how does that relate to your own training? How does that relate to your journey as an actor? So it is, even though the course is, you're pretty well on your feet, like a good 7 hours a day, there is definitely a written element to it. Do not worry if you have concerns about the ability to write. We don't believe in barriers to learning here. So and because there's only 22 per class, we get to work very carefully and very closely with each student to make sure that no one is disadvantaged.
Another one for you, Sal. There's just so many, so I'm just trying to pick sort of the most common ones. What does content look like for practical assessments? For example, devising, improvising, or scripted work? All of the above?
All of the above. That's what it looks like. It looks like you getting on the floor and doing it and succeeding. Some classes will not have a practical assessment because you're assessed on the work you do in class all the time. We require you to be here all the time, so that all counts towards your work. But other classes will have practical assessment, like the first years have just done, they've been working on their vocal warm-up. So they've had to hand in a vocal warm-up plan. They've had to take the class through their own warm-up. They've been working on singing, group singing and part singing. So it's the showing of the work, and it's usually towards the end of the term. And as I said, it's very rarely that you're by yourself. So, especially in the first year, you'll be doing stuff in groups.
If people can't make recall weekend, is there any consideration given?
Oh, Craig,
Was it sort of a case by case?
It's incredibly hard, and unlikely you would be offered a place in the school if you weren't able to attend the recall weekend. So, it's that's the nature of our business and the way it works, really. but it's, it's as much about forming a class of interesting and talented actors that get on with each other, that want to hang out, that we want to hang out with. Yeah.
Kia ora. Can you talk about the difference between a degree with honours at a normal uni versus a degree at Toi Whakaari? Oh, sorry, there's a performing arts and acting degree.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Sal?
I think the difference is the face-to-face time. So here you're looking at, 8:30 to 4:30, 4 to 5 days a week. It's pretty well all you're doing is acting. So we're not working in a university scenario where there's, papers or, yeah, it's, face-to-face conservatory training.
But the bit of paper is essentially the same at the end. It's a 3-year bachelor's degree, Bachelor of Performing Arts and Acting, Design and Production. So it's the same bit of paper that you would get for a BA in history at Vic or Canterbury or Cambridge. It's still a 3-year bachelor's degree. An honours degree has an extra year. We don't do honours degrees. So they're just the 3-year Bachelor of Performing Arts, like a BA at university. It's the same level.
Is it possible to do multiple courses at once? No. Could you
No, but I think one of the, maybe the Kaimahi should talk about it, but there are, I think certainly into years 2 and year 3 of the new program, there are elective possibilities for students to explore things that are perhaps considered outside their craft or discipline specific kind of area. So I think later on there will be an option for students to do electives and other things. But primarily you're working within one kind of craft practice, whether it's acting, production, or design. I hope that makes sense.
There's a lot of questions about how many students apply, which I think we've answered those ones already. Are there any websites or apps you can recommend for making a digital portfolio? Emma or Karen?
So free open source ones are Canva. It's free to sign up. It's very intuitive. You can create a slideshow. So our presentation today is brought to you by Canva. We love Canva. Yeah, it's really easy to use. You could also put together a digital portfolio on Google Slides, so another free one. We don't really expect you to build a whole website or do anything like that, but if you do, ka pai, that's awesome. But yeah, just use something at your disposal like Canva or Google Slides. Karen, would you add anything there?
Yeah, some people just make a Google Drive and send us a link to it so that they can have a whole bunch of photos in it. But yeah, if you're someone who likes to, showcase the whole thing, then yeah, even PowerPoint slides would do the job as well if you don't have Apple stuff or other things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kia ora. There's one specific to set and props, Emma, about if you've got projects you want to include in a portfolio that might not be finished yet. Is it something they can still include in their portfolio?
Yeah, all good. In some ways, the production photos like of you doing it is going to be of more interest than the outcome for us. So absolutely put it in wherever it gets to. And if you do get to the final stages of it, you could show it at your interview or send it through to us to see. So please don't leave it out if it isn't finished.
Awesome. And back to you, Sal. There's a couple questions. One is, with the acting course, is it primarily naturalist theatre or do you explore different types of theatre such as Shakespeare, Brecht, melodrama?
Yeah, it's not one specific type for us. So we will give you a taste of everything we possibly can. And if we can't give you a taste of something, then maybe that's something we can help you find for your internship. The second years have just been doing Brexit, actually. So they were looking at it through the lens of creating a character, approaches to character through movement. Yeah. Yeah, we've got Shakespeare kicking around. Yeah. A lot of things.
For the acting audition, were there 2 opportunities for monologues, one from the given scripts and one we can choose from the whole wide world? The answer to that is yes. And the scripts can be found on our acting program webpage on our website. Is there anything in particular you're looking for, the acting student applying? Is there anything in particular you're looking for in an acting applicant, maybe?
I think we're looking for people who have a lot of fun doing what they want to do. We're looking for people who are fearless, who have great instincts, and are just great to hang out with, which is, you know, my approach to choosing friends, actually. So there you go.
I think that might,
And just a willingness to get up and give it a go, you know, because sometimes that's when the magic happens, when you're just hanging out there, not knowing what's going on. But, you know, I promise you, we will never leave you hanging for long. Someone will always catch you. Yeah.
I think that's, oh, there's a production question just for you, T. How do you split the learning of the different aspects in the course? Like, how long do we spend on learning stage management, lighting, sound? Are you able to choose one area to focus on?
All of the above. We will have technical and management streams through all 3 years, through all 3 year levels. So it's more that we do foundational work in first year, and then as you go into second and third year, you start to develop those skills and build on the foundational skills. And that can be in things like production practice, it can be in things like internships. And we do course workshops as well. We bring in experts from the industry to teach specialist courses. So it's something, again, like I mentioned earlier with internships, by the time you reach third year, we're really following your lead and we want to specialize in. We have some students that are interested in filling their kete with many different skills, and we have students who go, this is exactly what I want to be, and they grow that one thing. And then students somewhere on the spectrum between those two. So it's really unique to the student as to what that pathway looks like. But certainly we cover all aspects of production.
Kia ora, T. Hawk, to answer your partai, how many acting applicants do we usually receive each year? It's between, what, maybe 150 to 200?
Yeah.
Usually in between there. And like what Sa said, for recall weekend, that narrows down to 44. And then at the end, we have to select 22 for the class cohort size. And if you happen to be selected for NSSP, is there another day for the audition as the dates clash? If that's talking about the first auditions, that might be different compared to recall weekend there.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can't make a first audition in any of those centres, we can definitely sort out a Zoom audition. It's just, you know, it's much easier if you're actually in the room with us. Yeah, but obviously, you know, access, yep, we can definitely do a Zoom audition.
Kia ora. I think we might have made it through all the partai in the chat. However, I'll give one more minute if there's any burning questions. Otherwise, I will shuffle us slowly to the end of this beautiful canvas slide. So just to remind you before we close off, I know some people have had to leave, and for those who are still here, thank you for holding on. So key dates, just to remind you, the 22nd of August is both our open day and the day that acting applications close. So acting has a much earlier, has a month earlier closing date to the other programs. So for those considering acting, just keep that in mind so you don't get duped into thinking you've got until September. It's the 22nd of August. Make sure you put that in your calendar. And then a across September is when that first those first auditions will take place across the motu. And then on the 22nd of September, applications will close for
26th.
the 26th. What did I say?
22nd.
Oh,
26th.
Clearly it's time to wrap this up. The 22nd of September, we're nearly there, is when applications are closed for the Bachelor of Performing Arts endorsed with design and in production, as well as the costume construction and scenic construction and properties diplomas. And then 24th and 25th of October is the recall weekend for acting. And then 31st of October and 1st of November is applicants weekend for everyone else. And then following all of that, within 2 weeks of either of those events, either recall weekend or applicants weekend, you should find out about whether you've been offered a place for 2026. So it will happen quite fast so that you can find out and then make the necessary arrangements, or you find out and then you can figure out what else you might choose to do next. And not to discourage anyone as well, depending on whatever outcome might come. Toi Whakaari is always going to be here, and we always are going to want you to come here. Just because our school is so small and our spots might be limited doesn't mean that if it's not this time, it's never your time. And we always get applicants who apply a second time, sometimes even a third time, and they make it into the kura. And sometimes it's just a matter of timing, as opposed to whether it's a you thing. It's not. It's just the cosmic timing of it all. So I definitely don't feel discouraged, no matter what the outcome might be. And because, oh, Teresa, you already answered it. You're so onto it. No, I think that's us now. So if you've made it here, thank you. Ngā mihi nui. And don't be a stranger if after this you have more questions. And this recording will be online in the universe somewhere after this. So don't feel like you've missed out or you have to retain all this information. So,
and just flick us an email if you have a burning question tomorrow, next week, whatever. Just send an email to apply@toiwhakaari.ac.nz, and one of us will get back to you really quickly.
And you do have my email now if you received the Zoom link today as well. Atui tērā, tēnā koutou katoa. Thank you to our kaimahi who joined as well. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Craig.
Kia ora.
And thank you all for joining us today. We hope to hear from you again soon. And if not, then kia pai te toinga o te rā. Have a good rest of your evening. And that is us. That's a wrap. E te whānau.
Kia ora.
Thank you all. Ka kite.